Sony just had their big PlayStation showcase kicking off the summer of, like, I guess what would kind of be E3, but now this whole summer of news thing. And they announced a bunch of stuff and a lot of cool stuff I definitely want to talk about. The elephant in the room, you know I'm going to talk about Metal Gear. I have a lot to say. I'm making sure I'm reserving a lot of time for that, but I don't want to dismiss all the other stuff because there's a lot of really cool stuff to highlight. This isn't going to be a play-by-play. I just really want to talk about some of the stuff I like the most from the showcase, or really just stuff I have to talk about the most. So the first thing definitely that caught my eye is Marathon. Bungie's actually making a new Marathon game. Like, as you probably know the history, Marathon was one of Bungie's original things back in the day, a classic PC-style first-person shooter. And what we got here, it is seemingly mostly just like a cinematic trailer, which tells us basically not much. But from what I've seen online, it is going to be like a PvP, PvE type of thing. But what I like to see here is just Bungie not doing Destiny. I'm sorry. Like, I've played Destiny. I've tried Destiny. I have a lot of friends that play Destiny, but like, I have been waiting for them to flex their muscles in a new way for a while. They've spent many, many years on Destiny. So now what we get here is like immediately what I like to see. Sick art. Just crazy art. Bungie artists and like creative concept people are on another level. From the early days, like when concept art leaked from Destiny to now, like I still feel that way. All of the shit we saw on screen here just seemed really, really cool and creative. Don't really know too much about it. I don't want to like drag that on or speculate or anything. So yeah, the other thing that we don't know too much about, but really caught my eye is this Phantom Blade Zero. Where the trailer started out, I quickly got the feel, like once I saw the bosses and like the crypticness of everything, I was like, all right, cool. Another Souls-like. I'm starting to get a little sick of these. But once they kicked off gameplay with this thing, I was like, oh shit, never mind. Whatever style of game or genre, subgenre this game is, it just looks sweet. The main character is badass. The movesets seem incredible, but the animations really seem to be on another level. They seem highly motion captured and super detailed, but like you can tell that it is in game. So I just wonder how a lot of that stuff is going to work out. But like some of the moves, some of the actions, the speed at which the main character did some things just felt really cool. The combat here and some of the big boss battles and like the stabbings and the moves just seem really sweet. The only thing though is like the developers don't know much about them really. So like I don't know what to expect from this one, but it's like what I saw is really cool. Sorry, there's crime going on outside. Another one, Helldivers 2, just a good trailer. I initially thought it was going to be Starship Troopers and I got really excited. I was like, holy shit, more Starship Troopers games like after the RTS that just dropped. It's not, it's Helldivers, and I didn't really play the first one that much. Like I kind of forgot, I'm sorry, but this looks awesome. It seems a little bit more third person over the shouldery, and I just like the vibe of it. And this, just to go on a side tangent, like this I found way more interesting than a lot of like the PlayStation Studios multiplayer centric games, because most of them were just like flashy trailers with generic multiplayer game looking characters. Like Sony is really leaning into that. Like they want their big competitive games as a service shooter, it seems. I mean, Fair Games from Haven, I assume Concord from Firewalk. Like the thing that stood out to me was Helldivers 2 more than anything. That one's gonna stick in my mind. The characters look cool, the shooting looks cool, so I'm in to try it at least. Another 2, there's a lot of 2s in this video, but Dragon's Dogma 2. Now we knew about this previously, but I'm happy to see that it just very much looks like, okay, like that's more Dragon's Dogma. I think that's good. I think Capcom's creative spin on that fantasy RPG genre was very good from, I almost said back in the day. It wasn't that long ago, but it was long ago. I don't know. I saw similar things. I saw like over-the-top action, companions, very important, and also jumping up on top of monsters and stabbing them. So Dragon's Dogma. Again, not too much to extrapolate from it, but at least they showed us gameplay, so thank you. And speaking of gameplay, Alan Wake 2. Now, they're doing something interesting with this one. They just announced after the show that they're like not doing physical releases. They had their reasoning. Like I'll have the message up on screen saying like, they don't want to just put out a disc that needs an update. Okay, like, I don't know. I think that might actually be an interesting topic for another video, but the game itself, holy shit. So when they announced this, they said that they were leaning more into survival horror and not just it being like the previous Alan Wake. and I'm about this. Just the little glimpses of gameplay we got to see looked awesome. Alan Wake looks badass, and like the other character you play as now, just kind of like FBI agent. I like a simple looking character, just a woman in an FBI like rain jacket. Like that's kind of cool. And I'm curious to see like what the difference is going to be, because like what we got to see of Alan Wake's world, it's very weird and creepy and dark, and hers is very much more like Resident Evil walking around corridors type thing. And I don't know. I just like what I saw, and also it made me go like, ooh, I can't wait to see more. Like it gave me just enough. I just also like that like one of the creative heads at Remedy, Sam Lake, is like a character in the game. Like his appearance, his likeness, and everything. His face was the original Max Payne face. And then to also hear James McCaffrey doing voiceover for the game, and them showing that character at the same time, like it fucking exploded in my brain for a second. They know what they're doing. It's got a girl in it though, so people are probably gonna be mad, but I don't know. The other thing, Assassin's Creed Mirage. I'm glad we finally saw gameplay for this one, because I've been hanging my hat on this one for a while. I hate to say it, as much as like a lot of us kind of burnt out on some Ubisoft stuff. I am very much burnt out on the new Assassin's Creed games. I've talked about that a lot. I don't want to like beat the dead horse there, but I have been looking for a return to basics type thing, and they've like tried to play around with me with that before. Like they put little elements of it in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but like this seems like straight up like they know what they're doing. Like they're trying to like pull the nostalgia strings here. I mean, like from the character costume to the location to the vibe to what they showcased in the trailer, how simple the parkour is, how simple the like just awesome finisher animation, simple combat, only a couple enemies at once, focused assassinations, sitting on benches, which seems like not a big deal, but it is. I really, really hope they can package this one up to make it feel like a good core Assassin's Creed experience like I like it. Thankfully, Assassin's Creed Mirage is coming out this fall, so like I can judge it for myself. I'm going to be very particular, but we'll see. Speaking of particular, some of you guys tagged me in this, and I appreciate it. They said it was a Jake Baldino-ass game, and I appreciate it, and that is Sword of the Sea. Now, this is from the people behind Journey, and it looks awesome. Like, as soon as I saw the character skateboarding or, like, kind of, like, snowboarding on a sword, like a magical sword, I was in. Once he started hitting half pipes in this ancient realm, I was like, oh, hell yeah, dude. I'm really curious to see if there's going to be combat, because it's called Sword of the Sea, and the character is riding around on something that does look like a sword. So I'm really curious to see that development studio take on combat. Like, what do you, like, is it going to be challenging? Is it going to be complicated? Is it going to be simple? I don't necessarily need combat in their types of games, but if they figured out a cool way to do it, I'm in. But I'm really just in because of like Journey vibes plus snowboard skateboarding on magic. That's it. You guys know I'm a simple man. Speaking of being really simple, Spider-Man 2, we got to see a good look at it. The Kraven reveal was excellent. He looks great. Very, very happy to see that. But the symbiote Peter, oh my God. Sorry, like just the way he's doing it. It is like straight up like Christopher Daniel Barnes, I think was the voice actor. Like the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s, like, get back here, shocker! Like just that, like, I will like, it's so good. The, like kind of edgy, but like ragey, angry Peter is so well done. Like they get it. I said it with the last games. Insomniac gets Spider-Man. I think with Spider-Man PS4, they told a better Spider-Man story that we'd seen in a while. And I'm really hoping that that can continue. It seems like a really cool mashup of concepts. From what we got to see here, we got to see Peter dealing with the symbiote spider, but while also still mentoring a Miles Morales, which makes it really interesting. They're doing the whole Harry Osborn thing they alluded to, that they teased at the end of the previous game. It also just looks like more. I just wanted more, like more cool action sequences, more to do, new enemy types, more Spidey action, gliding on the air a little bit, which looks interesting. Miles looks like OP at this point. But the character switching thing, you know, I want to see like how much of that's going to be used. Very, very cool. But what really took me by surprise was how good New York looked. It seems like now we're getting like Queens and Brooklyn, which is huge, and it all just looked really, really detailed. Now, maybe it's hard to compare because like we were seeing a different area, which it just looks different than, I guess, their island of Manhattan that they already created. But the level of detail here seems pretty wild. I mean, they were onto something with Miles Morales on PS5. That was a way more detailed City. It seems like they just amped it up again, and I'm about it. To have more access to different neighborhoods. I would love to see if we can go further up to like the Bronx, like follow the rivers up. That would be nice. How far into like Brooklyn, Queens can we go? You know, there's a lot of potential there. Sorry, I keep clapping. I'm excited. I'm also like a fanboy though. You guys know I eat up anything Spider-Man. If I could just swing around, I'll pay full price for it. I don't care. I just like that. But again, Insomniac seems to get it. I'm glad this game is still coming out this fall. I'm actually surprised it's coming out this fall with all the delays we've seen over the last couple of years, but yeah. Now let's talk about it. You've waited long enough. Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. The remake that's like the worst kept secret, the biggest rumor, is officially confirmed now. Konami put out a trailer teasing a full remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. Now titled Metal Gear Solid, kind of delta symbol, Snake Eater, triangle, has 3 sides. Okay, delta, isn't it like a Greek letter for 4? I'm not very smart. That's just me spitballing reactions. But where to start? So if you've been watching me for a long time, if you watch me on Game Ranks, or if you follow me on social media, you know how weird and annoying I am about Metal Gear. And I said that if they ever announced new Metal Gear anything, I would be that annoying guy. And I am here to be that annoying guy. I don't want to be the party pooper. I don't want to rain on anyone's parade. It seems like I'm on a different planet. A lot of people are really excited for this, and I'm happy that people are excited. I find it harder to get excited. Now, all we got was this trailer, this teaser. To me, this trailer definitely seems like it's built like an E3 trailer, like a hype reveal type thing. Seeing Big Boss at the end and everyone goes, yeah, right? But we're all at home watching, so you don't get that reaction. But to me, right then and there, it is like that trailer just feels off. It is to me immediately evident that Hideo Kojima is not involved, and to have like one of the main creatives, that's a big thing. And now, again, I don't want people to like mix my words here. I think best case scenario is still just a remake. I am glad that Konami isn't taking the property and trying to make new full-on games. I'm glad that they're just doing this. And there are screenshots out there, and the screenshots don't make it, and I'm not like shit talking the graphics or anything. The screenshots don't make it look like it's this massive epic overhaul. Like, we're not going from like Resident Evil 2 PlayStation to Resident Evil 2 remake. I wonder if this is going to be more of like a faithful coat of paint rebuilding control scheme type thing, because they did put out a statement saying that they're modernizing controls and updating and stuff, but being faithful to the storytelling and all that. The screenshots like imply like pretty much the same level design from what we can see here. But the foliage does look really good. The skyboxes do look really good. From a business sense, this makes sense. And I hate that I'm looking at it at that, but I'm gonna, because Konami has shown in the past that they are just business focused, and for them to bring it back, it is the most logical thing to go for the game that was like one of the biggest sellers, one of the most beloved. Metal Gear Solid 3 is considered the best by many, like, of the series. Kind of obscure the 3 so it doesn't confuse new potential customers or audience members. But yeah, and then go from there, I guess. I think my problem is also like I'm in too deep. I mean, like, look, I think about Metal Gear every day. What do I have? I have shit everywhere. I have the Game Boy version right here. I got Snake right here. What do I have over here? Got like a random copy of Portable Ops. Like, I'm just a weird freak. All right. So I guess the word would be purist. But partially that comes out of respect and love for. I still think Metal Gear Solid 3 pretty much holds up. The controls, no, it controls like poop. But otherwise, I think that Hideo Kojima and his team, the art style that they had always employed since Metal Gear Solid 2, kind of ages really well. It's very simple, it's very bold, it's very sharp. So like, I still think like we're good, you know? And I'm usually pro remake and all that stuff. But again, like when it's something that you love so much, I'm gonna be a little bit more particular. So for people being like, oh, Jake, you love everything, you get excited about everything. No, clearly, I'm always gonna point to this video. I am still going to try it. I am absolutely going to give it a shot. I will probably have some fun seeing what they changed, seeing what they kept the same, seeing new character models. Big Boss does look pretty fucking sick. The marketing splash of his face is pretty awesome. I can understand why people are seeing that and getting excited, but I'm just skeptical. I'm skeptical because Konami, we still technically don't know who's developing it. You can infer if you've been following the news and the rumors, but the studio that is probably working on it is one that mostly in the past just does ports. I don't know. I would have very much preferred Konami to have like with Silent Hill kind of like went out, found a studio that makes sense, and then proudly partners with them and broadcasts them. Here, it doesn't seem like we're getting that. And I just don't want them to screw it up, you know? Like, I think there's a lot of warranted skepticism if you have been following the tales of Konami, Hideo Kojima, all that not even just the Kojima stuff, everything that Konami has done for many years now. What I do think is a potential win, but still has like an asterisk of potential issues, is that they also announced like a Metal Gear Solid collection thing. Presumably multiple volumes. They've announced Volume 1, which is going to be Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 on modern platforms. PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam, which is really exciting to have something like a port of Metal Gear Solid 3 like on Steam. Now, I've been playing all these games through PCs, mods, like everything for years now. So again, I'm coming with that bias, but like most people don't go that hard. So I'm excited that they're going to be completely, easily, finally accessible on all platforms. Not everybody's a weirdo like me who owns like 4 copies of the Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection and the 360 collection and the PS3 one and then the PS2 packaging and then the I'm exhausting, but I'm happy that they are including that. I'm just curious to see, like, are they going to like report things? Are they going to redo it? Like, what are they going to use? It seems like they're going to be using the HD collection stuff. I've seen some things online that's what they might use. I just don't want them to screw it up because I still really am salty about the Silent Hill HD collection that Konami did years back, where they screwed up the fog in Silent Hill, among other things. So again, full skepticism for me. Like, I don't apologize, but I do want to make sure, like, I will not talk anyone out of playing anything. I don't want to do that. Have your joy. Be excited. Like I said, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to play the remake and see what's up. But I'm just nervous, man. I was very much comfortable and like at peace with knowing that the Metal Gear franchise wouldn't continue. Like, it was just like, all right, that was it. They were out, and that's it. I've said this before in other videos, but it's kind of like being into Star Wars before the prequels came out, and you were just like, there's not going to be any more Star Wars. And then all of a sudden they announced the prequels, and you're like, oh, holy shit. And then after the prequels and George Lucas, you're like, okay, there's never going to be any Star Wars. And then they announced more Star Wars, like with Disney, and you're like, oh, okay, holy shit. And then it just keeps going and going and going. I worry about that with Metal Gear, and I was really just enjoying the piece of knowing that nothing else was coming, nothing weird would happen, people wouldn't look down on the games because of like what they became, you know? But again, none of this takes away the originals that we have. Metal Gear Solid 1, Portable Ops, the Game Boy one, everything else I have in storage, which I eventually will do a Metal Gear collection video at some point because I have a lot of stuff. Whether the remake kicks ass and they knock it out of the park, the collections are great, or not, those original games aren't going anywhere. So yeah, again, I'm probably being a drama queen, whatever. I just wanted to talk about it. And that's what I do here. I just talk about stuff I like. I really love Metal Gear Solid. So pardon me, but thank you for hearing me out. Like I said, this is an ongoing thing. I want to see where it goes. And also, I am happy to be proven wrong. I am open to being owned. Just totally proven wrong. So I'm rambling. Let me know what you think about the PlayStation Showcase. I want to know how you feel about everything. Immortals of Avum, the fact that there's Ghost Runner 2, new Talos Principle. The Plucky Squire gameplay looks awesome. Like, there's a lot to talk about with this showcase, so let me know what you're thinking. And of course, let me know how you feel about Metal Gear. Are you as annoying and insufferable and picky as I am? Or are you excited? Either way, nice. Let's talk about this stuff. Let's talk about SpiderMan down in the comments. If you like what I do here, if you've sat around with me here for the first time, just know that on this channel, I'm just talking about stuff I love, and clicking the like button helps me. Thank you to Patreon and YouTube membership people for also having my back, but I gotta go. More videos to make, a lot of reviews to do before you buy for Game Rank. So I'm Jake Baldino. See you guys next time. Pizza's on me. Subscribe because video games.